Nigeria, a vibrant tapestry of places, people, stories, struggles, and unshakable spirits. Politicians make promises, but who really holds them accountable? I'm Donu, and this isn't just about politics. This is about us. This is where we confront the hard truths that few say publicly. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on when you're watching this video. Welcome to Nigeria Unfiltered. Now, today I want to talk about class traitors in Nigeria. Let me just start briefly with those from civilized, educated, maybe even privileged, financially privileged backgrounds who go into government as politicians or civil servants or just political appointees and then betray all the values that they learned from their civilized, principled parents. I know quite a few like that. Even though people from elite backgrounds are not very common in the government space here. There are quite a few of them. And, you know, I am from that kind of background myself. And I can tell you, we were not brought up to worship money or to think that stealing is okay or to think that the most important thing in life is to have a Rolex watch or a Louis Vuitton suitcase. No, we were brought up with solid values by parents who fought for Nigeria's independence from the colonial oppressors, the British, and looked forward to this country becoming a great, you know, like I always call it, look forward to Nigeria being like a shining city on a hill, somewhere that all Africans could be proud of and all Nigerians would benefit from. And then they've given birth to these children who are like hungry bandits. I don't get it. But let's just put those words aside for now. Because, I mean, to be honest with you, some of us did have parents who were hungry bandits themselves. Not me, but some of my friends and people had parents who were not principled. So it's a mixture. There's no one type of person or family in any society. So, but I don't really want to talk about those ones so much today. Maybe I'll expand on them at a later date. Today, my main interest is in another type of class traitor. Not the one who betrays the elite class that he or she came from. The one who comes from a very, very poor family and betrays the poor people they grew up with the minute they leave that environment and are able to acquire wealth and power. I think it's really shocking if you came from some village in Port Harcourt or Maiduguri or wherever, Borno State, Jigawa State, Edo State, whatever. You know what it is like to suffer. You saw your parents suffering. Many of you, your mothers were widows or even single mothers who never married. Some of you, even though you had mother and father, the grind was so bad. The suffering was so much. Parents toiled and had very little to show for it at the end of the day. You may even be the only one in your family who managed to get to school because there was not enough money for school fees for all of your siblings. Some of you didn't even make it to school, right? But were intelligent enough to do well despite lack of education. So again, there's so many different circumstances. But you know, bottom line is, how can somebody who grew up surrounded by poverty then become a big man or big woman and completely lose interest, have no interest in the welfare of the people they left behind? People who were so happy to see them doing well, thinking, my brother or sister is now minister or DG or PERMSEC or whatever, director. At least something will come to me personally or to our community. And then nothing comes. Or maybe they just help one or two people here and there, like women that they have forced into sexual slavery, or whatever. Or, you know, some of them, to be fair, some of them do stuff for their own village, their own community. But it's not that much. I mean, here we have a tendency to overpraise. So if some governor or minister builds a road, we never hear the end of it. You think that they had, won the Olympics. For collecting money, our money, to go and do their jobs is a big deal. Have you ever heard in foreign countries, oh, Keir Starmer or Donald Trump have built a road or renovated the road in Washington or London? Nobody cares. It's part of their job. It's no big deal, Anyway, yeah. So there are people who do something. I suppose in a country where some people do nothing, we should be grateful to those like Nyesom Wike, the governor of FCT, who do something. I mean, as they say, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. But I still want to go back to the fact that even when they do something for their communities or for the society as a whole, things that will benefit poor people generally, like, look, if there's a new road in a rural area, it makes life easier for all those toiling village people who need to go to market. If you put electricity, we all know how that can change lives and enhance the productivity and economic empowerment. But generally, most Nigerian VIPs don't give a damn about the poor and do a lot of anti-poor things. They do a lot of things that will harm the poor or simply fail to elevate the poor from the doldrums that they're languishing in, So these are class traitors. And, quite honestly, what I don't understand about Nigerians is they're so stupid. I'm sorry, the majority. Because when that same minister who has done absolutely nothing or done very little for the poor from his community or even his own family, because a lot of them have relatives who are dirt poor, who have got nothing, right? When this man shows up to do Thanksgiving or some such rubbish, Nigerians will queue up and be hailing him and shouting, and you would think that he's the second coming of Jesus Christ. Or in the north, it will be Ranka Dede, all this kind of crap. I mean, why do the Nigerian masses have so little self-respect? Because if it's me, and I'm a very poor person, and I have some relative or someone from my village who has managed to climb out of the poverty and I'm suffering, and the person goes there and shows no concern to improve the environment that he came from and make everybody a little bit better off. Believe you me, if I had the power, I would drag them out of that position. Nigerian masses ought to have the power of recall. If you have a senator or a House of Reps or a local government councillor who doesn't care about anybody except himself, his wife, and his girlfriend, then you should be able to gang up and ask for that person to be brought back from Abuja, because they're not working for the community. They're not working for the poor. Trust me, if Nigerian VAPs did what they're supposed to do, I mean, that's why we have federal character, so that every single village, that's why we have zoning, so that, I won't say village, but every single part of the country is somehow represented at the top, so that you're supposed to do something for your own part. Now, if everybody did enough for their own part, this country would be transformed, But they're so selfish, so greedy, and they're heartless, absolutely heartless. So that's, and then they strut around behaving as if they are lords and masters in the presence of people like me who have always had at least basic standard of living. If you hear some of them talking now, it's like there's no other watch on earth except a Hublot. There's no other type of bag except Chanel. These things cost thousands and thousands of dollars. There's no other wine except the finest champagne. Boasting to people who saw those things from childhood. I don't know whether you're trying to join the class that you never were a member of, or whether you're trying to forget the class you're coming from. But all I can tell you is that it's a really, really unwholesome sight to watch people from very, very poor families failing spectacularly to show concern for those they have the power to elevate. Okay? So, do you know any politician from a very, very poor family who goes around behaving like a prince or princess and as if nobody else matters? Do you know? Tell me. I would love to do a follow-up program on this topic. Okay? So, thank you very much for listening.